Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the next edition of Tuesday Talks. If you're like me during this time of the year, you really don't have to walk outside to know that it's getting springtime, because you wake up and you have the stuffy head, your allergies are kicked in, and as soon as you walk outside, like my vehicle, I have a black vehicle, you can tell it's turning yellow. All the pollen is out and spring is in the air, which I love this time of the year because it is great. It's a time for rebirth. You see all of God's nature, all of God's creation just really beginning to explode with new life after we've just finished the winter season. But it got me thinking a little bit about that very creation that God did. You know, when I look at the pollen that's out there, yes, that makes all of us sneeze and have runny noses during this time of the year. But I think about that pollen and how the plants and the trees create that pollen, and how it's that pollen that helps other places, other plants grow and other flowers bloom. It's what bees come and grab and make honey out of. And not to quote Lion King by any means, but it is this great circle of life that God created from the very beginning of time. And as I was thinking about creation, I thought about us. I thought about you and me. And that out of everything that God created in Genesis chapter 1, the only thing he created in his image were you and me. In verse 26 of Genesis 1, he said, "Let us make man in our image." And we're created, and man became a living, breathing creature and creation by God. And I think that's why when you see Jesus on the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 6, when he gets in about verse 25, when he starts that, the worry section, and he says, don't worry about what you're going to wear or what you're going to eat. And he gets into a couple of different illustrations. He talks about the birds of the air and how God provides for them. He talks about how the lilies grow, and yet God provides for them. And he says, above all of that, aren't you more special? Aren't you greater than these? And that's why he goes through and he says, don't worry about these things. He said, but what you need to do is continue to seek first God's kingdom and his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. The psalmist writes that you are fearfully, you are wonderfully made. And God takes care of his creations, just like he does the birds, just like he does the trees with the pollen. He takes care of you. He takes care of me. And I hope that as you go through this week, that you remember that no matter where you are, no matter what you face, God loves you, we love you, and we hope you have a fabulous week.